Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. We got on here a while ago. We got shut down, and I think it's because SB heard me talking about UFOs.
Yeah. We're talking about UFOs and believing in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden the phone wouldn't work.
Yeah, so Big Brother's listening.
Do we have anybody?
Hey, Deb.
Bueller.
Debbie Judkins, how you doing?
Love it.
We are fixing
Meatloaf.
Throwdown Loaf Off. Hello, Joy. Welcome.
Listen, y'all. So, okay, so here I'm going to give you the actuality of what really happens every week when we go to figure this out. So, typically, up until last week, okay? Up until last week, and I think I fessed up to this before, but on Wednesday mornings, it's like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. I mean, because it's
You
not
know.
like we have a whole bunch of
Yeah. So,
nothing else to do.
last week, Lisa and I are sitting in the office, and I'm like, okay, we're going to make a plan about what we're going to do. Let's just, 4 weeks. Let's just figure out 4 weeks what we're going to do. So, it was at that moment that I told her, June 9th has to be meatloaf night because it's Gracie's birthday.
Happy birthday, Gracie.
Happy birthday, Gracie, Taylor, Lindsay. It is her birthday meal every year. Well, that she flip-flops. That or salmon patties. So we'll have to do salmon patties thing. Because people make salmon patties completely different.
But yeah, I don't. Mimi, you're going to have to give me your recipe.
So, and then we came up with a bright idea because we were talking about meatloaf and how there's so many different kinds of meatloaf. And I have the rule that I do not eat meatloaf at a restaurant.
Really?
Because I usually don't like it. Meatloaf is one of those things that you either love it or you hate it.
Yes.
And you have a certain way that you like it and you want it.
Very true.
Yeah.
I do like Cracker Barrel's meatloaf. It's not bad. It's not.
I have
Granny's.
tasted, at a bougie restaurant one time, they had a bougie meatloaf. And it was good. But it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Right.
I will say one night for a farm-to-table dinner we did, I need to do this again because this was 3 years ago. I did individual meatloafs for everyone, and I made them out with buffalo meat, hamburger meat, or sirloin, local sirloin, and duck meat. It was, oh my gosh, it was so good.
If I hadn't heard the word duck, I'd have been on board.
No.
If I
Because
don't
it
know,
has so
I'll
much
eat it.
fat in it.
Yeah, see, it's very fat.
Oh, it was so good. So, and I wrapped them in local bacon. I need to do that
Anything
again.
wrapped in bacon, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna at least try.
I need to do that again.
For sure.
So Lisa and I started talking about our different meatloafs, and I'm like, I don't want to know how you make your meatloaf. And what we're gonna do is we're both gonna make our own meatloafs, and we're gonna talk about how we make our meatloafs. Okay? So
And, I mean, let's just.
because I make meatloaf and have made I made meatloaf the same way for 15 years. And then about 8 or 9 years ago, I started doing it differently because I had read, once again, here I am talking about Ina Garten. I love her. Barefoot Contessa, I watched one of her shows and she made meatloaf, and she did something different that I now do. And I'm glad that I changed that in my meatloaf. So
I am wondering if it's something to do with this little thing over here.
it is. It totally is. And I did not grow up doing that.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
and so we all know Jennifer is the bomb chef, cook.
Actually, I'm not. But
I am not. But this is a meal that the family does like for me to cook. Now, Mimi can attest to it. Hey, Mimi, I haven't cooked.
You see her?
She just
Oh, good.
joined us.
Hey, Mimi.
I haven't cooked in like almost 2 years because Mimi and Donnie are there, and Mimi cooks all the time. So this could be very comical.
So
We'll find out.
So I gathered my ingredients at Bay, and Lisa gathered her ingredients, and we didn't let each other see our ingredients.
That's right.
Literally, like we were hiding our boxes so that we didn't know.
I wouldn't let Ricky read I was like, do you have any of this at the house? I need to know if you've got this. Don't read it too loud. She came here.
Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna do, and we're gonna start with Lisa's first steps. So I halved 5 pounds of meat. I'm not gonna dump this meat in the floor.
Yeah. I'm glad that you told me that's how much this was.
This is 5 pounds of meat.
Okay.
So I gave you 2.5 pounds, and I've got 2.5 pounds. Okay.
Okay.
Because I had, I'm gonna laugh. So when we get ground beef in at Bay, when we get it in from the food distributor, we get these. They're like this long.
Yes.
And I call it the schlong.
The schlong. The beef schlong. This is a PG show.
I call it the schlong.
But it is.
It is.
It is.
It's just
There's no other way to
beef
say
schlong. Schlong. I know. Okay, I won't say it again. It's so funny. But I do, and I've called it that for so many years, I kind of don't realize
that. Yeah.
I shouldn't be saying that, but
It's okay.
It's okay. So we get this big thing. It's 10 pounds. So I took half of it and brought it to the house, and I gave Lisa half of it. So the other thing I did is, look at my
Hers is beautiful.
beautiful rainbow of, so green bell pepper out of the garden. Yay. Thank you, garden and rain and Jesus. And little tomatoes out of the garden, and then red bell pepper and red onion. Okay. I use red onion. I like red onion.
So
specifically.
I got a white onion, or I don't know, it could have been a yellow.
It was white. I saw it.
Okay. So I have a white onion. I'm not particular with what kind of onion I put in my meatloaf. I have some that I chopped. Oh, sorry, Ruthie.
Sorry, Ruthie's under our feet.
That I chopped. Ha ha ha. So I have some red bell pepper and some green bell pepper that I got out of the green bell pepper out of Jennifer's garden. She had packed it. She had clipped it this morning.
I picked them this morning.
Yes.
So, okay, so honest to goodness, here is the difference that Ina Garten did that I had never done for years. So my mama made meatloaf growing up, and she never sauteed the vegetables. She put these vegetables straight into the meatloaf.
I just did that.
And she did not do fresh tomatoes. I started that years ago.
I don't do tomatoes.
Yeah,
Fresh tomatoes.
I like a little bit of a fresh tomato, and I cut them up little bitty.
Yes.
Okay. But the other thing is, I'm sautéing them with butter and garlic just a little bit. So I'm going to cook this down before I put it in my raw meat. Lisa did not.
I did not. So I just dumped. I don't have the tomatoes. I have the bell pepper, red and green. I just dumped the raw in there. I have a half a cup of onion that I'm going to dump in. And there's probably an order this should go in. Like I probably should have done crack the egg and put it in there. But I don't. So
no.
this is...
I always chop my veggies and put them in first.
Do you?
Yeah.
And then I will crack an egg, put an egg in, and then I'll do my breadcrumbs.
Do you typically is this the same amount of meat that you typically do? Is like 2 pounds for your family? And
2
put 1
pounds.
egg?
I would use 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably have to use 2. I have to feel it. I do know that I need to feel it sticking. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't feel it, then I'll add another egg or more breadcrumbs or whatever.
Yeah.
Now there was a time that I used either or.
What do you mean either or?
There wasn't both. I didn't use an egg and breadcrumbs.
Really?
Yeah. I would use milk.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, somebody I was talking to today said that and I'd never heard this before, tell me if y'all have, they toss their breadcrumbs in milk before they put it in their meatloaf.
I didn't toss them, but that would make sense because that's basically what's happening when I put the milk in. It's just a
binder.
A binder, yeah,
Mhm.
like the egg is. So that would make sense. But I hadn't thought of
Interesting.
that.
I never heard of. Have y'all used milk in your meatloaf? Hello. Bueller. So egg. I was raised that by my Mimi and my mama that egg is always your binder. And Mimi and Mama always used a small can of tomato sauce.
Mhm.
Okay? Yeah. I have some tomato paste, which I am going to only use a very small portion of. Like, I'm not, like, this is the size can I have, which is a 18-ounce can. I don't need that much. So I'm going to give Lisa some of it.
Yes.
Okay, here's the other thing too. So I did, this may be one of those things that, which I mean, I know why I do it, but this is how my Mimi always did it, my mom always did it. They completely, like, covered a 9x13 glass ceramic dish in foil, and was always an egg. See, Wendy, you always put an egg in it. I've always put eggs in it, but also, do you put tomato sauce or tomato paste in it? And do you put diced tomatoes? See? Anyway, I've always covered a 9x13 glass dish in foil because it greases so much.
I don't, but that does make sense, and it would make it much easier to clean.
It's way easier to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it makes a lot of mess.
And
in
mess.
fact, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but my Mimi and my mama and me always, like, we don't serve it in this because it's sitting in grease. So
No,
when
you
it comes
put it
out of
in
the oven, you get it out of that grease and put it on a platter and let it rest on a platter, right?
Yes.
Sauce. Okay, so Wendy's always put tomato sauce in there. Okay? So, all right.
I'll have y'all know that we had
So I fold 2 pans for us to get ready.
She fold them,
Fold them.
and I'll have y'all know we had to look for measuring cups, okay? Because she does everything by feel, and I'm like, I don't know what half a cup of onion feels like, so I'm gonna need a measuring cup. We found one. Sure did.
Well, only because I thought it was very sweet. So I haven't had, I mean, maybe a couple, I don't know how many years ago it's been. But anyway, Ricky bought me some basic glass measuring cups a couple of years ago because the girls that were here, like when we had dinners or whatever here, and my employees would complain that I didn't have a measuring cup.
Yes, for real. So everything is by feel. She
Yeah.
doesn't. But I'm doing the same thing. So I just put some. I don't know how I say Worcestershire.
What? How do y'all say it? Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. Some of that Worcestershire
Worcestershire.
sauce. And I just do it to smell. I need to make sure I can smell the Worcestershire sauce in there, and then I know it's enough.
That's a good. So I'm legitimately putting a 1/4 cup of tomato paste in my meatloaf.
I put probably.
And I'm putting 2
tablespoons.
eggs for sure. Okay?
I've got
And
2
2.5
eggs.
pounds of meat.
Got 2 eggs. Some breadcrumbs. Got my Worcestershire. About 2 tablespoons of the tomato. What do we have? Paste there.
Tomato paste.
Little bit of pepper. Some breadcrumbs in. This is where I start just kind of like feeling it. And I use this. I'm surprised that she had it. Honestly, I don't know why. I just figured it might not be like. This is just like. It's Tony's. You know?
It's Tony's Creole seasoning.
Yeah, everybody's got Tony's.
Yeah.
But it has everything that you would use in it. So I use this when I was cooking. I would use it often as my seasoner because it has the red pepper and the salt and the garlic pepper and chili powder. Little, a little bit of everything. A little bit of all season.
Yeah. So I always, right now, I've got 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, 2.5 pounds of meat, and I am gonna do, this is gonna be 2 teaspoons of salt, kosher salt. I do garlic pepper. This garlic pepper is the secret to everything I cook. I'm not exaggerating. I use garlic pepper on just about anything. So I am passing over my meat. I'm putting like 3 teaspoons of garlic pepper in there. And then the other thing I always put in my meatloaf is an Italian seasoning blend. So I'm going to pass over and put a good 2 to 3 teaspoons of Italian seasoning in my meatloaf.
Yum.
Okay? So I have sauteed down my red pepper, green pepper, garlic,
It
butter,
smells delicious.
tomatoes, and a red onion. Okay? So I'm going to throw that in mine. Now, Lisa and I did talk breadcrumbs at the beginning of this.
Yes.
So who makes their own breadcrumbs? Who uses panko?
I
Who
used panko when I was meal prepping.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Forgot about that.
yeah. So here's the deal. Honest to goodness, so I'm only using a spoon. I usually will use my hands like Lisa is. But these veggies are hot right now, so I'm not putting my hands in there quite yet. So I also had, I only had plain breadcrumbs here, but I did have our homemade crostinis here at the house from the store, which we cut the baguettes, we olive oil and Italian and garlic season them, and then we bake them in the oven.
So good.
And I had a bag of those here at the house. And so I have sat here while Lisa and I have visited, and I've mushed them up to use as my breadcrumbs in a meatloaf. Okay?
I got to use
She's using the breadcrumbs from just, the little
the little box.
tube,
Yeah.
paper tube of breadcrumbs. So, does anybody use panko? Does anybody do their own breadcrumbs? What do y'all use in your meatloaf? So, I'm using crostini crumbs in our meatloaf tonight. Okay?
And typically, I have one of those pampered
Pampered chef.
chef like chopper things, and then I also have one that's electrical, and so
You have an electric,
chopper thing.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Pampered Chef?
No, I think I just got it at Walmart or something.
Huh.
But so I tend to get my vegetables very finely chopped. I did not get them that finely chopped doing it myself. Because my kids, I pass my pickiness on to my kids, so if they can see it, sometimes they'll be like, I don't want to eat it, because yeah. So,
You created the monsters.
I did 1,000% created it. So,
I'm telling you, the only child, which is so crazy that she loves meatloaf, the only child of ours that was picky was Gracie.
really,
Yes. And, still to this day, she kind of eats like a 5-year-old.
chicken
She
nuggets.
does. Oh, totally. And cheeseburgers. She
Yeah.
would live on it. And it's awful, and I tell her all the time she's got to eat good. But she loves meatloaf and salmon patties.
Not funny.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like fish, but I eat tuna. which
Yeah.
is, people say that's the fishiest fish.
It is the fishiest fish.
But I grew up eating it, so
Yeah.
it doesn't, you know.
Oh, I also had this conversation with my hairdresser, Tara, today. We were talking about meatloaf, and we were talking about tuna fish casserole.
Oh,
and
yeah.
tuna fish.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, listen, I grew up eating tuna fish casserole.
Yes.
Did y'all eat tuna fish casserole
We did.
growing up?
It was Hamburger Helper tuna fish casserole.
Nope.
But yes.
This was made from scratch. Mom did, but it, so, I mean, I grew up eating it. I liked it. It was part of life, you know? But also, the baby of 4 kids, and we were in full-time ministry for years, and we always had band members living with us, and I mean, my parents, we had a big long table in our kitchen, and it had benches on both sides, and there was always another person eating with us. I mean, always. And we always had somebody living with us. I mean, it was crazy. But, so food had to go a long way, you know?
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, where was I going? Oh, tuna fish casserole. So, we ate tuna fish casserole. Mom would make it. And, so our first, Ricky and I have been married. This week was our anniversary, and 28 years. Our second week of marriage. I was so excited, so proud. My whole kitchen was so cute, and I was cooking every night. And so one night I make tuna fish casserole. And it, you know, I think how I vaguely remember it, y'all, because it literally has been 28 years since I've made tuna fish casserole.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's like egg noodles and
Yeah.
I don't even know, and tuna and green peas and chips on top, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like there's some kind of breading on top.
Something. So, but it's what I grew up on. So I made it, and we eat dinner. I clean up the kitchen. I go in and sit down next to Ricky, and he puts his arm around me, and he says, "Thank you so much. Please don't ever make that again."
Bless it.
He said, "I hate tuna. I can't stand tuna." And this is a man who eats anything, really. So I legitimately have not brought a can of tuna into our home in 28 years since
But
that
he
night.
ate it.
He did. He totally ate
That's
it.
so
He
cute.
totally ate it and tried so hard to like it, and it grossed him out.
That's
So.
so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so I can tell I need a little bit more breadcrumb.
I'm thinking.
See, you make yours way thicker than mine.
Mine is good.
There you go.
Yep.
So you get your
Pan.
pan. So, do y'all use panko? Y'all give us some feedback. What do you put in your meatloaf? Luckily, Ricky loves meatloaf. So we're going to eat it tonight at my mom's. We didn't get to have our Sunday dinner together with Mom and Stacy and Andy, so
We're gonna do it tonight.
we're having dinner tonight. We're going to eat meatloaf tonight. So,
I am packing this down, and I asked Jennifer before we got started if her meatloaf shrinks, because mine always shrinks up,
absolutely it does.
and I didn't know if it was something.
Oh, wow.
What?
I see. This is something else different.
Oh my gosh!
What's
you
this?
just drop it in, don't you?
What? No, what's this? So this is how I grew up. Now, when I had kids at home, I did individual mini meatloafs
Yes.
for my kids.
I had the little mini meatloaf pan. For
I
people
have
chef.
that. I have that too.
Yeah.
But growing up, this
You're gonna make loaves.
individual loaves. Not individual, but 3.
Yeah.
I'll get 3 in this pan. So 2.5 pounds will make. And my Mimi and my mama sat here and you pack it in.
Yes.
I remember my Mimi's hands.
Is that
I remember my Mimi's, her arms
Oh yes.
jiggling while she patted those meatloaves. So we serve it at our family in a, look.
In a loaf.
In a
Like
loaf.
It should be. I pat mine down flat in the pan.
So this is gonna make 3 loaves for me, easy. And I'll be able to get 3 loaves into this.
For sure.
Okay, so So, yeah, show them what you did.
So I cut
So
mine down.
you cut it into squares?
Yes.
Okay. So what do y'all do? Y'all talk to us. What do y'all do? Do you
They're
cut it
probably
into
in
squares?
shock that I'm actually doing
That Lisa's cooking.
Yeah. They're like, we can't take her eyes off. We're waiting for her to pimenta.
Pimenta? Pop them out of the olives?
Yes. Jeez. Right. So I do this. And it's gonna shrink up.
She packs it in.
I pack it in and it's gonna shrink up and then you gotta pour grease off. And you can pour it into your can. If you've still got one of those or your what is that? The butter. Remember when your granny would have like a
Yeah.
country crock
Country crock bowl.
and you weren't real sure what was in there.
It's bacon grease and
Oh yes.
all kinds of goodness.
So then I put salt and pepper on top.
Now I do that too. So see, I do 3. Look at the loaves. See,
I love that.
it's 3 loaves. Me too, Lisa. You pack it in like that? I had never seen that done before, ever. Kim Weber packs it in like you do.
Look, all right, Kim. Look there.
And then, so here's the other thing we got to discuss. Do y'all make a sauce for the top?
Yeah.
Do you just ketchup it? Do you wrap it in bacon? What do you do?
You brown sugar it. So I do. I just put some ketchup on it.
Okay, when do you put the ketchup on it?
So I'll cover it to bake it.
Really? Okay.
Yes, and then I think we covered it. Yeah, and then uncover it for the last like 10 or 15 minutes with the ketchup on top.
So, I always put mine in like this with salt and pepper on top. Somebody saying, I love the crispy edges. I bet it is good. So I'm gonna salt and pepper mine, and I put it in the oven, and bake it for about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Oh no! The whole. So this is.
Oh my gosh!
This
Oh my
loaf will
hell!
not. Yes, Rotel too. This loaf will not
Oh my God! Did y'all see that? Did you even see what
be. I
happened?
did not.
I was
No.
peppering.
Bless it.
Look at my meatloaf. Oh my gosh. It's black peppered. Just a bit. Oh my Lord.
Can you have some meat with your pepper? Honey, what do you do? Just pour it off?
I'll scrape it off. Let me get a spoon.
That's.
That is terrible. Okay. Golly. So I grew up, my mom always made a sauce to go on top of the meatloaf. And I mean, we're not talking like a whatever. The sauce secret is, oh my gosh, this is so bad. I'm like gonna have to rinse the
meat.
loaf off. So the sauce, can you see if you
Yes.
can get that out? And I'm gonna rinse my loaf off. Oh my Lord.
Y'all.
I'm just gonna wash it.
Y'all.
I love that this is live and there's no
Throwing stuff
fixing
in the
that.
floor.
We did not edit that out.
No. Throwing it in the floor. The whole thing of pepper.
Now I need a paper towel and I'm out of
I know. I just used the last one.
Oh my goodness graciousness.
It just goes to show. It's okay.
See? I just rinsed it right off.
Just rinse that meat right on off.
Get a new pan, rinse it off. I did, Kay. Look, see? We got out of here. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna, hold on.
You want me to? Oh, here.
There you go. Yeah, we need to whack that out. There we go. We're fixing it.
We'll fix it.
We do not need that much pepper on our meatloaf. Woo!
It's better.
But look, I'm gonna just take the little bit of residual there and I'm gonna sprinkle it on the other two.
There you go.
Everything is figure-outable.
Yes, it is.
Has anybody read that book? It's really a good book. Everything is figure-outable. It is literally the name of a book.
It is the name of the book. I have read that.
It's a good book. Whew, pepper save. Let me wash my hands.
Okay.
Okay, so these are going in the oven
Yes.
at 350.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take a good, I'm gonna bake mine for 30 minutes
Got mine.
and then pull it out and put my sauce on.
That's what we do. So about 30 minutes, then I pull it out and put the sauce on. I think I might cover, but we don't have to cover it.
It'll be
Just-
fine.
It'd be just fine. I don't really know what the purpose of covering it was.
I don't know, maybe y'all thought it cooked quicker.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Does it?
Yes, possibly. Okay, so our sauce that Mama always made is brown sugar, ketchup, and barbecue sauce.
Yum.
Yeah, it is, and it bakes really beautifully on
But it
top of that.
smells.
It
great.
smells heavenly, and it's not too sweet. And y'all look at me. This is for 3 loaves. I'm doing a half a cup.
About half a cup.
I'm doing a half a cup of brown sugar. Okay, half a cup of brown sugar.
Half
And
a
then,
cup.
Can you hand me the ketchup?
Yes. I just went to the movie line, The Bad Boys. Have you seen that where he's like, do you remember that movie Bad Boys that had Martin Lawrence and Will Smith in it? And he's like,
Nope, never seen it.
we came to borrow some brown sugar. You haven't seen it?
No.
It is so good.
Okay, so this is
A lot.
a third a cup of ketchup, and a third a cup of barbecue sauce.
I got some pepper in my
And-
throat.
And a little garlic pepper. Because garlic pepper makes everything better.
Yes.
Okay? And I'm a sweet and salty kind of girl, so it does cuts the sweetness. But it makes a really, really thick. This sauce, woo, that's good stuff right there. So, equal parts barbecue sauce and ketchup, about a half a cup of brown sugar, and then garlic pepper. And then after the meatloaf is baked for 30 minutes, I pull it out, put this on top of it. I spread it really well and cover the top of it, and then put it back in the oven for a good 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on how many loaves or how much poundage I have. Okay? What time is it?
It is.
Because evidently the electricity went out in my
Oh my
house
gosh,
today.
it's 6:06.
Oh my gosh, we went over. Because we're talking about sauce. All right.
Because we dumped a thing of pepper on our loaf.
Yeah, we made a boo-boo on the pepper. So, everybody say happy birthday to Gracie.
Happy birthday, Gracie.
She thought it was pretty cruel that I was going to make meatloaf live tonight for her to watch, and then knowing that I was going to take it to Mom's and we were going to eat it together without her. And I didn't think of it that way. I thought of it as like ode to Gracie, like
Yes.
it makes me love her and miss her.
Yes.
So I hate that I'm not with her on her birthday, but I know. But that's part of adult life,
It is.
being married
Yes.
and living in another state. So anyway, okay. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. And cheers to a great Wednesday.
Yes.
And we will be back next week. And would y'all please comment on here and tell us what you want to see?
Yes. What would you like us to do?
Because we've tossed a lot of ideas and things that we want to do, but we want to do what y'all want to see and hear and us to talk about.
Yeah.
So if there's anything specific that you're like, I'd really love to see how they make this, or Jennifer makes this, or whatever.
Yeah.
We're game to
doesn't
try
necessarily
whatever.
have to be food.
No.
We can make flower arrangements. We can do all kinds of stuff.
And we want to do another crash of a house, like we
Yes.
did at Jennifer's at Thistle Hill Estate.
Yes.
So, if you want to volunteer your house, we'll come crash your house and do cheese and charcuterie at y'all's house. So just let us know what y'all want to do.
For sure.
Okay? It's
Thanks,
going to be
guys.
fun. We love that y'all join us every Wednesday. We truly do.
We do.
Thank you guys that are here supporting us and showing up. We hope that you're enjoying it and that you're learning something, because bake bread, get the starter going again. Guynell, we so need to come to your house. Guynell's in San Miguel right now.
Guynell.
Listen, Guynell, Stacey and I are headed to Mexico in 2 weeks together. And we literally she's been to San Miguel and we want to go together, and we've not been together. So I want to know where that house is that you were at, because it looks incredible.
The fact that she's tuning in
I know.
from San Miguel. We
Hola.
love you, Guynell.
Love you, Guynell. We'll see Guynell Tuesday at Book Club.
Woo!
We're so excited. The book, y'all, if you're in book club and you're joining us right now, you better wrap that book up. It's a good book, and then I ordered a couple days ago our book that you'll be picking up when you're there on Tuesday. So, anyway. All right,
Bye,
guys.
Thank
Cheers.
y'all.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.